Hey, everybody, welcome back to Roosters on Olentangy River Road. I am back in Columbus, Ohio. I've been here 10 hours, and I'm coming straight to Roosters. There's nowhere else
How about that?
that I would rather be. That's get a little sleep in, then come straight to Roosters, because guess what? It's appetizer Thursday. Many corn dogs are out. That's Justin Zwick, Bobby Carpenter, and Nicole Cox. I am Austin Ward. It's late June. Feels wonderful here, by the way. It's about 40 degrees cooler than I was in Texas.
You didn't melt, so that's good.
You can tell that it's chilly because Bob's wearing the North Face.
The old college North Face that we all used to rock back in the day.
This is the same one I've had.
I'm sure.
I love it.
I think I had like 4 different colors.
Everybody
It's
did back in the day.
vintage.
That was the thing.
They're still
With
kind
New
of
Balance
vintage.
shoes and, North Face coat.
Yeah, I think Court got this one for Christmas my junior year, so still fits. I mean, we're good.
Held up
Great
well.
jackets, yeah.
Oh, it's 20 years old. It's fantastic. So between this and my gym bag that's like 30 years old, I mean, it's quite the ensemble when I go to the Woody.
That stresses me out. I just feel like there's so many new bags out there that have more compartments that could just be
Mine
better.
have a lot of compartments. It's
I'm going to
just-
need to see that.
I got it when I was 30. There's holes in it now. I mean, it's beat up and it's still functioning. I have a bunch of bags. I have more
You
bags
get
than
so
any
many
of-
bags, everything we
than any
do.
other
It's like,
human.
here's a duffel bag.
Well, and it's good now because the kids use them all. But I'm a creature of habit, Nicole. Comfortability.
No, you?
Yeah, I do like to do the same things all the time, eat the same stuff. I'll change it up every now and again, but that only leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty gives me anxiety, Nicole. You know all about that.
I do. I do think that we are going to replace that gym bag, though. I
don't know.
You know me and my travel stuff.
He
You
said
just
that
got to
it's-
have
he said
good
that it's-
functioning.
He said it's functioning, but he also said it has holes in it. But bags
Not big enough.
are
So
not
your wedding ring could
supposed to
fall
have a
out.
hole.
Your Aura ring could fall out.
My wedding ring now doubles as my Aura ring.
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
it.
smart.
So, yeah. I
Get
mean,
rid of the double rings.
it was just too much.
Too
for
much.
me.
Yeah, that's a lot going.
A lot going on. And the one side compartment where I put everything, it's still good. It is locked in there. It's sealed. The main area has some issues because I carry around. It's also doubles as my pool bag. Like it's anything I really need. It's got swimsuits in there, some goggles. It's got cleats, probably some sunscreen, whistle, some old workouts that are probably tattered and like destroyed. But yeah, there's just a lot of different stuff in there, Nicole.
Okay.
It's got
Okay.
like back in the day when you used to have to like have an iPod. I still have one of the armbands.
Still got one of the,
Still got
nice.
one of
Yeah,
those?
it's
I
still
feel like you could
So
get
is the
rid of
old
that
iPod?
maybe, but-
could. I could also get rid of that gym bag, Nicole. But you know what? I like it when I go through there. There's some wrist straps. There's a lot of stuff.
Got it all in there.
They have these little neoprene like toe booties that you put on to keep your toes from
Ooh,
getting
yeah.
cold. And I'm too lazy to put those on when I get in the cold tub now. But yeah, I've
Well,
got
those are like
in there.
lifesavers, though.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
They change the experience.
They
Toe
do.
booties?
Oh, toe
I'm going to
booties,
need
yeah.
to get a pair of those.
You
They're
get in the
legit.
cold tub and you understand why.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they help a lot. So yeah, man, it's all good.
Wow. Incredible.
I need to get a bag that just has a bunch of stuff in it.
Nicole, the golf tournament is also in the rear view mirror for you. How did it go?
For the coaches, for the Ohio State football coaches, we started doing this outing like last year was our first year. We've always helped with it, but we've really taken it on to kind of help bring more money into the football program, just our way to be a good partner to them. And
Well,
Eric,
you're professional events coordinator, Nicole. I mean, what are we
Basically,
talking about?
yeah. And they
You're
do a
so-
great job.
She's-
I mean, Roosters crushes it.
well,
together the NIL packages.
a huge thank you to Bobby and Justin for playing in it, which was we needed them so badly because you're like paired with a coach or a former player. We didn't have enough coaches, so you guys, it was huge. You saved the day, so
It was
thank
fun.
you so
Oh,
much.
Always a blast.
The weather turned out great. I mean, it was instead of being 90 degrees, it was chilly, but I would so much rather have that.
We had
than
those
being-
sweet, we got those sweet
Yeah,
quarter
yeah,
zips.
nice
Everybody was
quarter
wearing
zips,
the
that's
quarter
right.
zips.
Uh-huh.
Everybody
Shorts
put
and
them
quarter
on.
zip is golf weather.
I
It
think
is.
so, too.
Play all day in that
Yeah,
weather, baby.
whatever.
Well, you
All
didn't get-
day.
It was overcast. There was like minimal sunburning. I mean, it was really. If you just wanted to go out and
Perfect.
enjoy the day, you were not going to sweat a lot. It was really ideal.
It was awesome. And Eric and Lori from our catering division,
Yeah.
they are
Time
just
out.
incredible.
Before we even get
Uh-oh.
into that,
I knew where this was
Well,
going.
I know.
I start on
Yeah,
8.
tell me about it, Jason.
I start
Tell
on
me about it.
8.
Yeah, okay.
Nice birdie, it was a good shot. Come up 9, Roosters trucks over there, and we're like, oh, the guys in my group, I'm going to hit Roosters twice. I said, I'm going to wait.
Oh,
Because
no.
we're coming on the back.
Worked back around.
Yeah, it's more lunchtime around that point. I said, I'm going to go to
Well,
town
everyone
on.
will have made the turn.
I'm gonna go
I'm
to
already seeing
town.
it. I'm already seeing the flaw in this plan.
I'm
JC.
going to go. No, because I was right in the middle. Because basically I started on 10. So,
Yeah.
so 2 hours goes
Go
by.
ahead
I'm
and
eating
add this
lunch.
to my notes while we're thinking about it.
I'm holding out. I'm like, catering's here today. This is going to be great. What a day.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to smash some wings. I'm going to smash some chips.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be wonderful.
Okay.
Go play the back. I get my wings. And they say, we don't have the chips today.
Okay, so
were they out of them?
No, we weren't even out of them. Just didn't have them.
Because we've used the same menu
I walked
for
to the
years.
I walked to the parking lot to leave right then, and they had to bring me back in.
Well,
and I said no.
Eric is so amazing that if he wasn't so slammed today, he was going to show up and bring chips for you guys. But he couldn't be here today. But he did such an incredible job.
You know what? They brought it back though because they had ranch, and typically in the past, you guys don't carry the ranch on the truck.
Yes.
And so when I heard the ranch, that made me feel a little bit better. All right, can I have one of those, please? Yes. That makes my experience that much better.
Well, we can
what
only
a disappointing
cater directly to Jay-Z.
Well,
with one thing, we're not going to
honestly,
do the catering.
When he said there weren't chips, I was like, oh, that's weird. We should have those moving forward because we all love the chips too. And I know everybody working.
I talked to a lot of the girls on the whole. As we're waiting around. The girls are on every other hole. I think they had girls from different
we have
restaurants.
Beverages and food.
Yeah, and I was talking to everyone.
They're not allowed to drink, Jay-Z.
No, they're not. They are
Jay-Z.
not. And I told them, there's no drinking out here. You will have no fun today.
No.
No, you will not.
We're professional.
100%. Yeah, I gave that up a long time ago, Nicole. One time.
A long time ago?
It was a few years. We haven't been invited back.
When was the last time we were allowed to play? I think that was the last time. The
You're always allowed to play.
That was then, Austin. Yeah. That was then. We had some fun.
I knew I should have behaved with you guys.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you get us
Day
going.
of the golf outing, my phone's just ringing. Zwick asking me if the girls can drink.
Well, start with your sister.
I know.
Yeah, but anyhow, yeah. So
he only did that to cover our tracks.
Yeah,
I know.
Because they had already done it. Spoiler alert.
We had some fun that day. But yeah, no, the no chips was sad. But
we're gonna change that.
I was still happy to be there. It was a great day. Nicole and her, people put on an awesome event. So
it was really great. It turned out to be the most perfect day. And so again, thank you to Lori and Eric and their team. They coordinated.
Yeah, sorry,
all
I cut you off on the catering when I heard catering.
No, you're fine. It's just they put so much time and effort into it, and it's such a busy time for them right now too. And the OSU staff was amazing as well, being there, and all the coaches. They all had a really great time, which makes us really happy.
What did you learn from Ryan Day?
Well, I learned he's in a really great spot. He's as friendly as always, just so kind. He was so appreciative to Roosters for putting on the event, which was it just meant the world to all of us. We don't need that. And he's just such a great person. And he, gave a speech to all the players. He's in a great headspace. He spoke about Michigan. And he said they're focused on just the season and playing the best they can play. So, which was nice to hear. He sounds it was a very comfortable topic for him. Speaking about Michigan, I felt the confidence is there. And,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it today outside of work and get better. So I think he's honed it on that. You just got to relax a little bit. They've got a good team, prepare hard every day, and they'll be good. But yeah, it was also kind of the end of the journey for them. That was Thursday. Friday they had their final OTA, and then that weekend was their final recruiting weekend. So that was kind of the beginning of the end of the big push through June. Wrap all that up, got some more commits, get some things going. Now they're all that's Sunday night, boom, everyone's going.
I was talking to Devin, and he's like, "You remember how we used to be when we were players? When you had some time off?" He was like, "It's even worse as a coach. Like, I'm ready to get out here and get some downtime with my family because it's been such a hectic time for him." But they were all happy. Everyone I talked to was happy to be out there. It was just a day, out of the office type thing where, a day on the golf course is better than a day at work. And they were having a blast.
And you can tell, too. You can tell it's the beginning of the end, almost vacation. And we love being a part of that for them. We love contributing to some fun before, they get to actually leave.
So, as they head out on vacation, we got about 2 months to go until the season starts, roughly. Let's just...
you say that, but it's really like 5 weeks till practice. I mean, for
me, and that's less than that, taking Big Ten Media Days. But I'm just for the fans, for our audience out there, they're still counting down to the opener. But as we sit and we cover the team, Bob, and we talk about the team, and if you came into Roosters on Olentangy River Road on an appetizer Threes Day, sat down,
had some mini corn dogs.
Had some mini corn dogs.
If you're allergic to wood, they're really the perfect solution for you. For your corn dog.
That's true, because you want to make sure that you keep that out of your mouth. That's for sure. What question, if you sit down and talk about the Buckeyes, is most on your mind about Ohio State? Anything. personnel, schedule, competition, Ryan Day's headspace. When you sit out and you're thinking it's 2 months away, what's the most pressing topic on your mind about Ohio State?
I guess I'm not. I mean, we can always go to the uncertainty of the quarterback, what you're going to see there. Talk a little bit about the right side of the offensive line, how that's going to look. I guess right now, just because we just came out of this recruiting weekend and Birm promised us 27 commits by the 4th of July.
He did, yeah.
And I think we're at maybe 14 or 15.
Got a little work to do.
Halfway there.
And the thing is, we're pretty heavy on the offensive side. It's so defensively, where can we kind of fill that out, and how's that going to look? Because I think that'll be the area of most information that'll be being disseminated over the next 5 weeks is, does anybody commit before their high school season? And hopefully there's a handful of guys that were in over the last month who decide to be part of the Bucs going into the year.
All right. Recruiting,
yeah.
Birm will come and answer some of that for
Yeah,
you in the second half of the show. So
wait.
stay tuned for that.
Here are the 14 guys that are going to commit here in the next couple of days.
He's going to have to pick them all specifically. You can't
Yes.
go halfway with a prediction.
No.
Jay-Z, what's on?
Well, I mean, Bob kind of touched on it, but I mean, thinking of the season and what, I'm looking forward to seeing is how our offensive line is going to be. We have a big quarterback competition going on. Who's it going to be? How are they going to be? I don't think it matters if you don't have the guys up front protecting them. We don't have a Justin Fields back there, a Braxton Miller back there who's going to really extend a bunch of plays. These guys are athletic. They can extend plays, but it's just not going to be something where, if they're getting crushed every time, they're not going to make a ton of people miss and, continue to make those plays every play. So if they can shore that up, how is this new kid from San Diego State? I'm sure they haven't had a chance to really get – well, I guess they have because they've had OTAs. I mean, it's just different than, I always think back to our time. But so, how's he coming along? How is that transition for him coming to Ohio State, learning Big Ten football, learning this playbook? How's that going to go? How is that left side going to? I mean, there's a lot of questions up there. And I think if that gets shored up, I think the quarterbacks are going to be fine, no matter who's back there. But you got to be able to open holes for the running backs. You got to have that run game going, and it all starts with those 5 guys up front.
Those OTAs really are a bigger deal for transfers and using the portal now. You used to have to wait, especially with somebody like Josh Simmons, who wasn't there for spring ball.
Yeah.
Well,
you weren't even allowed to be around coaches back in the
field.
day.
Yeah.
Like we had to go steal scripts from the rooms to go out and do 7-on-7. They might be laying around, type things. But it's so different now. So they've got some eyes on him, and they've probably been able to get him an idea of what he needs to work on here this summer when they're not doing these OTAs.
Yeah.
So that's been big.
Team runs and then meeting with Justin Fry and Mike Salini and all those things that are involved with what you're allowed to do now is so different. You don't have to just sit there all summer and hope that this guy's going to show
doing
up
his
in
work
August and can do it, or that he's going to acclimate to Ohio State. Because if you already pretty much know in the summer when Bobby's in the weight room watching you if you can hack it or not.
That's right.
He's got eyes.
Got his eyes on you from the climber upstairs. He's watching over.
That's right.
No, I'm not the climber, coach.
No?
It's out there running 110s today.
Oh, that's what the cleats are for.
So the cleats are in the bag.
That's what the cleats are in the bag for.
I used to leave them in the weight
I
room.
haven't done a
like
110 since I left Ohio State.
in the office, but then they disappear every now and again. So I was like, okay, I got a fresh pair. I'm going to keep these bad boys in here. And then also, in case I need them, I don't know, to chase the kid down in the yard.
You like to wear them like hardball, just out and about.
Yeah.
Just put your cleats on.
Just mowing the lawn.
What are you wearing right now?
Wear them to the golf course. Really dig in.
No slippage.
I hope you don't do that. Don't joke about things like that, Bob. Nicole, what's on your mind?
I like the guys. I'm wondering about the quarterbacks. Just, last time, I felt like we were talking a lot about Kyle McCord, but I feel like I've seen things on Devin Brown. I actually got to watch him at practice, and I know he's very talented as well. And just wondering, when are they going to choose who's going to be in that position?
Yeah, ideally, when do you want to name that starting quarterback? I mean, I've been through it before, and it was terrible because it didn't happen until he left.
I don't think that they'll take long.
Yeah,
you do have to start preparing for Indiana. I know we make light of it. We know the history of that series, and Ohio State can do just about anything to win, even when they are more competitive. But you've got to get ready. You've got to have that guy ready to go. And when the last time we went through this with Ryan Day, because it does seem like he doesn't have a great interest in naming somebody in spring. But when it was C.J. Stroud, it became apparent pretty early on after a week. Even if you don't say it publicly or officially, this guy's got to get the ones. He's got 1 reps. He's got to get ready for the opener. I think that Kyle McCord also has put himself in a position that Ohio State can do that. They didn't especially want to name somebody when Devin Brown, broke his pinky. week to go in spring camp. So I think it'll happen pretty quickly. Nothing has changed my mind that it will be Kyle McCord, but I don't know the answer, Nicole. We'll have to find out. Nobody's saying this is the deadline, nor should they.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of left spring with an idea, or at least a feeling, like, all right, this might be our guy. And you know, how much can Devin do during the summer / first week and a half of camp?
I want to say, even as of like a couple weeks ago, he wasn't able to even grip a football to throw.
Was he still? What was it that?
It took.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was.
this isn't like just a random. I mean, it's a hand, like thumb. I mean,
he said, I talked to him before I left for Texas. He had needed about 6 weeks was what they projected till he could get the grip strength back. So that took him into the middle of May, and then even once he started throwing again, it was like starting over in some respects. There's not a lot of things you.
I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, I mean,
serious of a. I mean, I know any surgery's serious, but you know, the way it came out in the spring games, like, oh, he's having a little procedure done. Like, all right, did he have a hangnail?
You know what?
I don't know. Did he just not want to play in the spring game?
No,
they don't tell us. So no, yeah.
His hand on a helmet. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You know when a surgery's not serious is when it's not yours.
No.
So it's good news. So for Devin, it was a serious surgery. For everyone else,
they're all serious.
It was good, but he'll be all right. I mean, just trying to get through that. So it's a function of how much have you been able to improve? What's he been able to do? Those guys have been out there throwing, and I know Kyle has, and I'm sure we'll get Devin out there soon, being able to throw with the wideouts, and then they've got their little robot that throws to him as well, which is even better.
Nuts.
It's a quarterback that never gets tired, always there.
Yeah, the Monarch is always available. He doesn't even have digits, so you can't have him pinky.
No.
Grip strength is always good on
Devin's
the
going to have fresh hands, though, like freshly, put together.
Manicured?
I think it could be even better.
You think?
It's going to be like Rowan Gardner.
It's
fire in the pigskin.
I think Nicole is fully on the Devin Brown.
I think she is. I like it. Oh, you tell him to change his number.
I see a lot of potential.
33.
Yeah, it's so bad. I can't look at him.
Why?
Oh, I just
James Laurinaitis out there playing.
Can't
QB,
stand
buddy.
looking at a quarterback wearing that number.
Wearing
a number above 18. Yeah.
Well, Joe Montana wore 19.
Even 19. I'll go with 19. Bernie was 19. 20 and up. I just can't.
You're not a fan of Flutie at 20. Was he 22 or
22? I believe, right, when he was at Boston College, and he did in a little.
He won a Heisman Trophy.
Oh, he did. A great player.
I think
I'm not saying Devin Brown can't be a good player with 33. I just think it looks absolutely terrible.
Do we not know what number Lincoln's going to wear? Holtz.
I don't know. Birm, you got a number on Keen Holtz yet? 12.
Hey, new leader in the clubhouse. Here we go.
He's a good-looking dude, man. He's a really handsome guy.
How's that 12 look
Yeah,
like?
those 12s usually are.
How's that look
What
like?
can I say?
Just good-looking athlete.
He looks better.
That guy looks like an athlete. You throw 33 on that guy, and you're like, who is this?
Yeah.
I think he looked better than 9.
Yeah, whatever.
33 would look a little wonky if you just swapped
It just seems weird.
No, that's not going to work.
It just is strange. And there's another 12 up there. Another good-looking guy.
3s are wild, though.
Hey. And today is what?
Because today is Appetizer 3's day.
Yes, get some mini corn dogs. Get in here.
Some little mini hot dogs, lightly breaded in some delicious cornbread.
Mm.
You got the mustard.
Side
Corn
of
dogs
mustard.
are the best.
They really are. I love hot dogs. I mean, it's a glizzy with a coat on, so it's got everything you need.
Are they calling hot dogs glizzies now?
That's what the kids call them.
Is that what it is? I just saw that the other day.
Yeah, it's
like, what is a glizzy?
I'm really old. I didn't know that.
That's what my kids call them. One of my son's friends like, yeah, man, I had 2 glizzies for lunch. I'm like, what is that? A hot dog?
Where does that come from?
It's a glizzy with a North Face.
Glizzy gobbler.
Well, come get your glizzies wrapped in cornbread today.
I am so confused.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into this.
Ask Bronson. He'll tell you.
A mini glizzy.
Sure.
He'll know.
I'm glad that right now Liberty just only uses the slang that I use. It makes it easy to communicate.
So easy.
I don't know when she's going to start picking up anything.
$3 all day long.
Yeah, $3 get in.
Nicole, what else you got cooking over there?
Ooh.
Oh,
You guys do 4th of July catering? What's the plan for that?
We are closed on the 4th of July. So if you
That's
would
good
like
information.
some roosters, yes. If you would like roosters, you'll have to get it on July 3rd.
Which is Monday.
And we'll be here on July 3rd.
Yes, we will be here, which is great.
Well, are you back open on the 5th?
Yes.
Okay, so just the 4th.
Just the 4th.
To celebrate.
Just
and
the
let
4th.
Roosters employees celebrate as well
Yes.
with the community.
Yes, correct.
Very important.
Hey, Bob, is that true that someone put their lawn chairs out in UA for the fireworks?
Already? Possibly.
Okay.
Week
it was
out.
like all
we're
over the news.
We're like T-minus a week, so that wouldn't surprise me.
I was like, this is really, the 4th is here. People are ready.
Well, Cullen's going around. He has a flag program where he'll set up flags in your yard for a nominal price. Put up, set down, line the little street. So he's.
I like it. A little entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, he's got all kinds of services: trash can pickup, sells snow cone machine.
He's working.
Yeah, I mean,
He has a permit for all that.
Cater your party. Yeah, exactly.
All right. There's nothing else, Nicole?
There's not.
Well, there is a little something.
Ooh,
Bob,
what do we got?
That's what I thought.
Bob, I got some
It's a
wind.
celebration.
I got some wind of a certain thing that you wanted to win. And so
Wanted
yeah.
to win.
I want to win everything.
And that's my point. We'll argue about that later. But
Standard is the standard.
I was so distraught by the drive to just want to win a plaque where I'm like, it doesn't really mean as much as you think it does. So there was part of me, I was so stressed about it that
Nicole went and took care of you.
To give you a Dundee
Oh
award.
boy!
And
Look at
Boy of the century. This is phenomenal. This is going on my desk.
I thought
That
it could.
is-
I thought it could. And Bobby,
we all love you. We all love you, Bob.
Yeah.
You know, we all love you.
I thought you were talking like some of the golf outing. I'm like, Nicole, listen. I gave up being serious about golf a long time ago. I have fun now.
No, this
What
is
did he do to earn this, Nicole?
well, Bobby.
A decade of excellence is
A
what
decade, yes,
is what
we
it
can
is.
say that,
Competitive,
and
sustained
Yes.
stamina of excellence.
I just think there are awards you strive for in life, but there are some that just. It's more important to just focus on the great job that you do, and if you don't win them, it's fine because it's for maybe other people, But so we may not agree on that whole subject, but we appreciate what you do for us, and
Nicole.
so you deserve that Dundee from us for
Yes, you
doing
do.
this
Nicely
show every
done,
week.
Nicole.
Is this from
Yeah.
you and Dan?
That would be from me. I
Oh,
haven't.
okay. You run it by him?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't on the awards committee.
It's okay.
I went home and ordered it as soon as I was done
Nicole,
talking with you.
this might be, this will be displayed prominently.
I'm so glad.
You got that nice shelf behind you. You got to definitely
Yeah.
I'm
put
gonna
that.
don't put this in my desk in my office, right beside the plaque that the late Emily Spiek made for me after I got robbed out of a Buckeye Cruise for Cancer Bowl-a-thon championship as well.
So
So
this
this
has
isn't the
happened-
first time.
So this has happened before. Okay.
Well, I did get cheated out of it.
Well,
so
we do know Bob.
It's factually accurate what happened.
I don't know if that's always true, but
No, it is.
okay.
They-
Okay.
There was,
Goodness.
you know how we
a
do.
Meyer Bowl.
We do the roll off.
I know the roll
beforehand.
off. Yeah.
And so it was a total pin count per frame. And then the last one, Schleg's got a strike and I got a spare. And like, well, he wins. I go, it was a total pin count per frame.
Oh.
You never once said that it was going to be more. Like, get the rules right at the beginning. So thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. There are no rules attached with that.
It is. It
That
means
is-
boy, the century.
My son walked downstairs. He goes, "Is that a Dundee award?" I was like, "It sure is."
And that makes it
For
even
our
better.
own Bobby Carpenter.
The fact that it is a Dundee, I always wanted to get one. I was never able to get there to the Dunder Mifflin. I mean, I'm sure I could have maybe won one, but this means a lot.
Wow.
Nicole. Thank you very
I'm
much.
glad you love it.
Gosh, I'm
glad you
very
love it.
excited about this.
Thank you for doing the show with us. And
Did Jay-Z finish second?
Nah, you know, she knows.
Jay-Z and I are in the same boat.
yeah.
We're like,
Yeah, it's all good.
we don't need the.
Yeah.
We don't. But
I don't know. He's going to be pretty competitive on
A
Saturday.
token,
out
but
in
listen,
On Saturday,
a
in
token of
Marysville,
your
I could be.
appreciation means
Yes.
a lot.
it does. I like to write thank you notes. Thank you notes are.
They're the best.
That's what I do.
They're not as
It's a
good as
lost
a
art.
Dundee.
I don't know if
But a Dundee's pretty good.
the thank you note with the Dundee would have been a full deal.
I think
but
this
is
goes a
good.
lot. Yeah,
This
this
is
is
fantastic.
much better.
It
I
is.
think than what you were.
I'm so glad you love it, Bob's. I've had it for like a month.
I was gonna say that was a while when you were talking. I couldn't remember what it was.
As soon as
Well,
I got
she
in the
was kind
car.
of nervous to give it to you.
you
the
know, I was
first
getting
show.
mad.
Oh yeah.
We did.
Oh yeah.
Well, we didn't know, so we just wanted Jay-Z to be here to give me back up.
Well, I talked to her on Thursday. She's like, "So I got this idea," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. You got to do it. He'll be fine."
I can take a joke. I mean, what are we talking about?
It's out of my character ever to do something like that.
This
but-
is
It is.
perfect.
And
This is perfect.
Yeah,
That was
Nicole,
great.
she's like, "Oh, Austin's so excited for this." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
The feud of the standard is the best part of this show.
This
You
is
could
good.
bring it every week, Bob.
I
You could
might.
bring-
We should put a little right up there is where
Right
it should
there.
sit.
It'll be stolen though. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
let that stay.
No.
We'll just put it in a camera bag. It'll come with Birm.
I can't wait to see it
Every
on your
other
desk
week.
during your podcasts.
I'll be right there, prominently displayed.
Okay. Well, I don't know how we'll top
Nicely done, Nicole.
that. Nicole's got a lot of important business things to attend to for Roosters, so we're going to let her go. We're going to bring Birm in. We're going to roll along in the Horseshoe Lounge at Roosters. It's a fun, casual joint.
Roosters has been so fortunate. We just want to be able to give some of that back to the community.
They donate to organizations that are near and dear to their heart, and we're so fortunate to have been with Roosters now for a long time.
They will always go above and beyond to help support our foundation to further help veterans.
It's just a wonderful feeling to know that Roosters supports the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer.
All the folks at Roosters are just genuinely kind folks, and they want to make a difference.
Thank you, Roosters Foundation.
Thank you, Roosters.
Thank you, Roosters.
Thank you, Roosters Foundation.
All right, welcome back into Roosters. Birm is here.
Hey.
Hello there.
You did a fantastic job hosting last week.
Oh, thank you. It was great. We talked about onions.
Yeah.
I should have got myself an award.
The Cleveland
Actually,
Indians?
I don't know. Award for inability to get a charger.
That's true.
And then Bill's ability to switch.
Hey,
But
it all worked out in the end.
because it doesn't work. Bill goes, hold on. And switch the voltage, then the light flips on.
He should have told me beforehand
It
that
was
it was
remarkable.
a variable voltage.
I mean, that charger could have literally, it would charge anything from a camera to a spaceship, I think. It had a lot of options.
Not at a submersible submarine, unfortunately.
Oh,
Probably not that.
But
Is
here,
it
here
too-
we are.
too soon, perhaps.
I don't know.
Not for Birm.
No, this
If
last
you're
Sunday.
willing to pay $250,000 to get into a glorified minivan and go 10,000 feet into the water, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're there for everything that comes with it, the
Yeah.
good and the
You're ready.
bad.
You're ready to take a little gamble.
The waiver basically said you're going to die 4 times, and people still signed it. I think it's just a sign that people who have that much expendable income are bored as hell, and they're like, I got to find something in life.
I
to
might
like,
try the space first, though.
Well, space has been done more often. You know,
Yes,
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
You see, they just came out with a new one for
Proof
space.
of concept.
$450,000.
There's proof of concept, and like the difference between looking at a rocket versus looking at a minivan.
Yeah.
Like you're taking an Aerostar into
Because they're giving
the
minivans
depths.
So
bad
look at-
names. Those things looked better.
So look at the Titanic. Like, dude, you can
Watch
film
the
that-
movie.
Yeah, watch a movie. You can
You
film
can watch
that.
the movie.
I've seen them go with the subs and look at the stuff. Like, I don't need
No,
to
you
actually be in there.
You can see that in IMAX, and it'd
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
I don't really even understand the appeal. Let's set aside. You could go if you want to go deep sea diving in a minivan. Why did it have to be?
Had less
For the
windows
Titanic,
than a
like,
minivan.
You're still picking something that's been pretty well documented. Why do you have to?
Well,
go see that? I
there's a
don't
lot of
understand the
conspiracies out
fascination.
there, Austin. So maybe they were trying to go down there to see
Oh, tell
if
me
it really did hit an iceberg.
I've never heard
What's
of it.
tell me the
Or-
conspiracy? I'm not abreast.
Oh, you guys, you're not
Yeah,
aware
let's-
of
I'm
Is this
I'd love
an
to hear
why
alien?
the boat
Is
went
this
down
An alien
I'd love
thing?
to-
and the Federal Reserve was started a year after? You guys don't know that?
No.
Check it
So
out.
the
Get on Google.
Oh God, we're going down the rabbit hole, folks.
Get on Google.
by what?
It was amazing that some very influential people who were supposed to be on the Titanic
Weren't.
got off. Yeah, I mean they probably a week ahead of time, maybe
Rich people
news
get off all
traveled.
the time.
News traveled slower back then, so it's probably a week ahead. We're not going to go. But hey, you guy over there, you should stay on.
Who did this? The Illuminati?
I mean, who
The
knows?
Illuminati.
Who does everything? Who
We're
does
not-
anything?
We're not allowed
Austin.
to talk about it.
Who
Whoever
does,
it
who
was.
does anything?
I really-
So, anyways, my point being, they may have wanted to go down there to see. Was there really a hole in the side, or
Uh-huh.
did it look like
It's a giant squid.
there's some
Saw that.
reports out there of people who were on the boats hearing some explosions and different things happening when they're in the water. And,
The Meg.
yeah.
Megalodon.
It could have been.
Megalodon.
Who knows?
The shark got caught by a Sharknado.
That'd be
Wow.
awful.
Who knows? It's out there.
I guess I don't go to the same part of the internet as Jay-Z.
Well,
Well, the thing is, once
trying
you
to follow
search
the
it
right
once,
people, I guess.
here's all you need. Is then that internet comes to you. You don't
Yeah,
even have to
they
seek it
find
anymore.
yeah. Once you click on one thing, they all come.
Yeah. So that's.
But anyhow, yeah. So
Maybe
maybe
YouTube.
anyhow.
Once you're done watching this episode of the live show from Roosters on Olentangy, just put in your old search engine there, conspiracy theories, and
You may want to
Don't even get me started. No, I'm just.
I know Safari or
might want to go
Google
private
the
extension.
dark
Yeah,
mode
yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
might
to
go-
where they does it. The VPN and the tracking, keep that off of there. What I am interested in though, we had a big recruiting weekend, bro.
Yeah, seems like it. Seems like it. Now, speaking of things that aren't sinking into the depths.
Oh.
of
Ooh,
Birm's
nice.
prediction of 30 commits by now.
Yeah,
the
okay.
July
What
4th.
happened?
On the
He
way.
added
On
3
the way.
more while he was sitting over there.
No, a good weekend. Ohio State added 2 commitments, both from Cleveland Glenville High School. Nice to get the
pipeline is
up
back.
and running after signing Arvell Reese last December. Now you've got 2 more in tow, and things are moving. One of those whose
Can we
nickname
stop with
is
the boat
Toe.
references?
No, this is where we're going.
It's got to go.
We're
Okay.
all in on both.
We're setting sail.
So we already had that line because a lot of them are on offense, right? It's 11 on offense, 4 on defense.
Well, now they're up to 16 commitments total, 12
Okay.
on offense, 4 on defense.
Okay.
And so that was really the important thing with this weekend with Bryce West, the cornerback from Cleveland, Rivals.com has him as the number 1 ranked player in the state of Ohio. So some other places have him as the number 2 ranked, and the other corner, Aaron Scott from Springfield, would be number 1.
Is he not committed yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Back and forth with Ohio State and Michigan. We'll see.
No,
how that plays out.
that better get done.
Big one.
Fingers
I
crossed.
feel like we got the linebacker position anchored pretty well, if you will. There's Garrett Stover, Cade's cousin, who's going to be coming in. Peyton Pierce out of Dallas.
Awesome kid.
And then
Kingston Viamuasa, who
it's amazing the fact that you're from Toledo and your ability just to throw out those Polynesian names like without hesitation.
I just do it in the mirror a lot. You know that one? You ever seen that movie with Paul Rudd where he's talking to himself in the mirror? You know
I love you,
man.
man.
No, you have to look it up.
Wait, are you talking about
This is
with the one
40?
with you're talking about the one with Christian Bale where he's Patrick Bateman
No.
and he does the flexing in the mirror.
Are you talking about the one where he's got a clone of himself?
You'll just have to look it up. Anyway, the point is,
So many recommendations today.
You got to watch that one.
Find Paul Rudd talking in the mirror about the Titanic.
about what he's going to
conspiracy.
do. Anyway, it's just whatever. Same thing. I just try to practice. But Kingston Viamuasa from
Sounds like he's doing something.
St. John
Don Bosco
Bosco,
prep.
St. John Bosco, Don Bosco.
Yeah,
from
Jersey,
Ramsey, New Jersey.
Sorry.
That's an Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame fight. This was a big weekend for the Buckeyes with Kingston because, there was some push.
Brought in Troy Polamalu last weekend for heaven's sake.
And Ohio State only countered with JT Tuimoloau and his father.
That's our strongest Polynesian tie that we have.
Well, it's turned out fine so far.
Yeah.
To really spend some time with JT and his father Ponce was in town, so it was a opportunity for the Buckeyes to say, hey, we got you taken care of here. We have the culture that is similar to what you guys are looking for. A decision probably coming there in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and I think Ohio State's done enough to win it. We'll see. James Laurinaitis has been all over that. I mentioned on the radio show with you last week, in some ways, Laurinaitis is fighting what he created, which was the Notre Dame poll for Kingston, and now
but he flipped Peyton right away.
Well, Peyton Pierce
like
was
a pancake.
a unique one, yeah, slightly
Nope,
different.
we're going to go here now.
Come on over.
Come on, James. We want to go with you, James.
It's important. Yeah, you're talking. I mean, there's 4 commitments on defense. The month of June, Ohio State hosted every single top target that they have on their board on defense, and it's wait and see mode for 5-star defensive end Dylan Stewart, 5-star defensive end Edric Houston, 4-star defensive tackle Jaden Jackson, 4.5-star depending on Marquise Lightfoot from Chicago, another defensive end. Then you have Viamuasa, then you have Aaron Scott, then you have Kobe Black, a 5-star corner from Texas, KJ Bolden, 5-star safety from Georgia. There is a lot of momentum, but until you get those public commitments, it means jack squat. So they've done everything they could do. I think the biggest difference for Ohio State right now versus last summer is that there is a competent NIL structure in place that makes them feel like, number one, and we talked about it ad nauseum in the last year, but Ohio State, if a player's primary focus is NIL, that's not an Ohio State player, they're not interested. But for every player that Ohio State is recruiting, when you're recruiting against Georgia, when you're recruiting against Alabama, etc., NIL is almost always the final conversation.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have a plan in place that says, hey, here's what we're doing, here's how this is going to go, it has changed the calculus quite a bit for Ryan Day and the confidence that the Buckeyes have. You can just feel it. It's like, okay, we got this figured out now. And once that happened, the battles that they lost last December, that have put Ryan Day in a very dark headspace for a while, I think that they're coming around on that.
I tried to say it then, and it's not about patting myself on the back or arguing or what. I'll do it for myself, but it wasn't likely to take that long.
Yeah.
Ohio State was going to do whatever it needed to do to stay competitive. Now, as you're saying, there's still a point where if it's just an NIL conversation only, that player is probably not coming to Ohio State. They're not going to be a fit. They're not likely to stay. You don't want to create a Texas A&M problem at Ohio State. It's not a good way of doing business. Texas A&M is finding that out the hard way.
I don't know. They brought in Bobby Petrino as their offensive coordinator.
Sure
Seems like things are going great.
I'm sure that'll solve it for them. The point is, everyone was trying to find out the right way to manage it, and I think a more conservative approach, even if it cost Ohio State maybe some success in year one of that era, to understand what you can do and get everything aligned, it wasn't likely to take more than another year to get it figured out in my mind. Now, they still had to actually do it. So you give them credit for embracing that and figuring out the right way forward. And I think they have, but it wasn't like Ohio State was just going to give up its place in college football and give up on signing recruits. Like that's
and they still finished with a top 5 recruiting class last year. So once they get everything else figured out, and the program isn't in jeopardy of losing its spot anywhere, but you do need to win these battles, and they feel confident that in the next 3 weeks or so, you should see a lot of answers come on defense. And if they don't, this is what Ohio State has done because they've been so good at recruiting for so long. They don't cast a large, wide net. So if they miss on some of these guys in these next few weeks, then it's back to the drawing board at a lot of key spots.
We need some rush guys up front.
Have to get it. Yeah, that's priority 1.
Linebacker, you're in good shape. I feel like if you can get Kingston, that's probably the best linebacker class you're going to see in the country, I would guess, right up there.
Going to be up there, yeah.
I mean, and so then if you can hopefully get Scott in state, maybe add another corner, defensive back. Now you've kind of have a pretty elite group, I'd feel, right there on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, you have, again, KJ Bolden, the number 1 ranked safety in the country from Georgia. That's a tough battle, but the Buckeyes feel like they're right there. If you can win that one, you add him to Jalen McLean from New Jersey, who committed 3 weeks ago, and then you go out and you get the best third safety you can find to join them. Zaquan Patterson, a 5-star on Rivals.com, is one of those guys that will be in the mix, heading toward the end of summer. But if you get Aaron Scott and you have Bryce West and then Miles Lockhart, who is a 4-star cornerback from Arizona who visited this weekend.
Oh, yeah, he was up too.
If he doesn't pick Ohio State on July 6th, then something went horribly, horribly wrong between now and then. He's taken no other official visits. He has said for 7 months Ohio State's his favorite. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't play any of the games. He tells anyone who asks, Ohio State's my favorite. He took no other trips. Like, if he doesn't,
he didn't play coy with you, Birm.
He's not played coy with anyone, and that's
about as strong of a prediction as you'll get from Birm on a player.
That's something that has gone horribly wrong if he doesn't pick Ohio State on the 6th. So then you have, hopefully by that point for Ohio State, you have Bryce West, Aaron Scott, Miles Lockhart. You go out there, you find another corner because that's what they're looking for 4, but I don't know that they need 4, but they'd like 4 because the position has so much turnover. And then, as you said, it's all about the defensive line. What will turn this from being a top 1 or 2 class in the country to being a top 5 or 6 class will be how things go with Dylan Stewart, Edric Houston, and Marquise Lightfoot.
What's the next tier of those edge rushers? Yeah. Okay.
That's they go when you go at the high end.
No, I know. I mean, when you're shooting, for the stars.
I mean, so if you can get 2 or 3 of those, two of the 3, I mean, does that sate you, Birm? I mean,
I think that you have to get 2 of those 3.
Okay.
Ohio State went 0 for 3 on the defensive end, the big ones last year with Keon Keeley and Damon Wilson and Mateo Uyangalele, and they added Joshua Mickens.
Rolls off his tongue, man. I tell you.
They added Josh Mickens late, but he's more of a jack type as opposed to being a true edge rusher. All 3 of these guys, Houston, Stewart, and Lightfoot, are all hand-on-the-ground defensive linemen. Stewart at 6'5", 245. They're talking to him about Jack a little bit because they can point to what they did with Chase Young in that Predator role and say, we can see the same thing with you because they're very similar players, very similar prospects.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a mouthful right there.
Very similar prospects, 6'5", 245 from the DMV. Very, very,
Larry does well in the DMV. I mean,
it's been a while, and they got Jason Moore last year, but the impact has changed a bit. South Carolina, who signed Nicholas Harbor from the Baltimore area last year, is the other team for Dylan Stewart. They have some coaching staff ties to that area also, and it's huge. That is the position that will make or break the class for Ohio State.
It is kind of amusing to me that in the span of 2 months, Jim Harbaugh has gone from going out publicly and saying, "Oh, the best players in Ohio come to Michigan," and now he's like, "Please give me some NIL money. We can't get good players now."
I have never seen, in the time I've covered recruiting and time I've watched recruiting, and I've been paying attention to it my whole life since I was 12 years old, basically.
Since before he was in high school, he was watching high school.
I have
dudes.
never seen
the high school dudes.
The thirst
trap
that we are seeing coming, and maybe it works out. And I'm not going to stand here and say Aaron Scott is for sure going to pick Ohio State. I believe he will. I don't know that there's been anything that would come across like the Michigan has that Ohio State can't offer.
What high school does he go to?
Springfield.
Okay.
Mo Douglas,
Well,
head coach there.
we've got some decent Springfield ties over
I
there.
feel like we should, right?
It's a weird situation.
We do pretty well over in
but
the 937.
The thirst that is coming from the media that covers that team and the obvious directed / orchestrated approach from
Charles Woodson,
yeah. Marcus Ray on Friday, like when Aaron Scott is on his way to Ohio State for his official visit. Marcus Ray, who's a Columbus native, tweeting to the high school coach, "Oh, this guy's got everything. You're doing a great job down there." I'm
going to pull from Rothman and I.
It's weird.
We had Marcus Ray on probably 5 years ago and asked him about if he made a mistake, and he kind of basically meandered around into it, and his life probably would be better if he would have went to Ohio State over Michigan. I'm dead serious. Rothman goes, that was a pretty candid answer. After we got off air, because he's like, well, now it's like I'm kind of up in Detroit, but I'm not really, I'm from here, and and then
that was one of the things.
And then we'd been beating him for 20 years, pretty much. So it's like he was in a pile of sadness.
And again, I'm not even saying that it's not working. Like clearly, they've done a good job impressing this family and saying that they are a priority, and maybe he's not at Ohio State, which is totally not true. I mean, but
isn't he the kid that we said we don't want you, we need you?
They've been recruiting him.
Is that the kid? I
feel like I saw that.
They've been recruiting him as long as anybody else in his class. Like it's not.
It's not like they just jumped on his train when he started going to Michigan. Like we've been on his tail for a while.
But in some ways, and I'm not going to speak for anyone else who covers recruiting or covers Ohio State recruiting. I know that I purposefully avoid talking about Ohio kids as much as I probably should, because for kids like careers and their recruiting process, the more Ohio State media covers a kid in Ohio, the less likely that kid is to get offers from other places. And it sounds I'm telling you, I don't know if other people do it. I will stand here and hand to God, I intentionally talk less about Ohio kids, because if I wrote about Aaron Scott every 3 days at Ohio State, I
think there's an assumption that then they're just going to be there. Right. That's what someone told my dad when I took a visit to North Carolina. I'm like, well, I don't know. Why would you want to come down here? You're not going to Ohio State? It's like, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. Should I? I took a visit.
And we here to talk about Ohio State or North Carolina?
Yeah. On the flip side of that, what we see, like, you can't go a day without one of the Michigan recruiting websites writing a story about Aaron Scott or tweeting something with his photo and eyeballs, and like it is a clearly orchestrated directive to make him feel like he's the only thing that matters. And again, I don't even think it may be working a little bit.
And I think that has to happen for a school like that. I mean, I don't know about you, Bob, but I felt like Michigan recruited me a lot harder than Ohio State did when I was coming out. I mean, it wasn't what it is today with social media and everything, but I felt like, they came to more basketball games. They, came to the school more. They did more, but I feel like they kind of feel like they have to with Ohio kids, maybe, to make it feel more of a, hey, you're really special to us. What are they doing? Type thing.
There was a very obvious detour around Ohio in the first 6 years of Jim Harbaugh's career at Michigan. He was not recruiting Ohio because he knew he couldn't win in the state.
Well, if you can win Connecticut and Massachusetts, who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Well, those
great football.
Those kids have beaten Ohio State the last 2 years. So now all of a sudden the confidence is a little bit different. Okay. And they are going to evoke the names of Charles Woodson or Desmond Howard or these guys. That evoke the name. These guys came out of high school 30 years ago, and that's great. But
as if I evoked the name of Charles Woodson, as if he's like the Messiah to
Michigan football.
He's pretty good.
He's an Ohio
17-year-olds.
He's got to be probably the best player to leave Ohio to go to Michigan.
Yeah, it's
Desmond Howard.
I know Desmond, but I think Charles.
Only two Heisman Trophy winners are both from our
that's
state.
True.
Charles is certainly could have went to Ohio State, chose not to. Hall of Famer. He won Super
Bowl.
National
championship.
There's nothing about that story that they're not going to sell, but it was still 30 years ago, and it's not quite the same thing. Now, if Ohio State then had hey, Okuda, will you call this kid or you tweet this kid? That's the same. That would probably have just as much relevance, but Ohio State just won't do that because they're just not thirsty like that.
Are you telling we need to
they're
get
already hydrated. Their pee is clear already. They're not thirsty.
Not a bad guy.
not a bad guy.
Elite.
I'm just saying it does seem weird, right? I've never seen anything like it. And that's
So you're telling
welcome
us
to
to
recruiting.
get,
Has
you're
that kid
telling
set a
us
date yet?
to get thirsty.
I'm not. No, I'm saying
The most
he's
interesting man in the
saying-
world.
he's-
Stay thirsty,
no,
my
he's-
friends.
He's not even thirsty.
He's telling you, Bob, to get thirsty.
I'm saying-
and to go find that audio of Marcus.
Yes.
Ray.
I'm telling you, I think
We need
Rothman
that.
has it.
Just drop it
entirely incorrect.
right underneath.
This is entirely incorrect. You're all getting the wrong message. I'm saying no one should be this way.
Stay thirsty, my
when
friends.
you're in this business, it is inconceivable to me that people think this is the way to go.
I get it.
It's thirst
I'm gonna have to
quenching.
dig that up though. Rothman, he is. He probably has.
Oh,
it.
I'm sure
it
he
was.
has,
He
yeah.
saves all that stuff.
Catalog.
It was unbelievable because I remember being there in 1998 when he came in, and they booed the hell out of him. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. That looks pretty terrible. That looks pretty crappy. I know your family's here, and it's all
Looked
good.
like a lot of fun right there.
But I mean, and thankfully that was the game they won. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
Scoop's final win against Michigan, so it was good. But I saw that, and I was like, man, and he was like trying to eat it up. And as a player,
That's all you can do at
you
that
can.
point in time,
I mean, you've
yeah.
got to embrace it. You made
Yeah.
the choice, and they won a national championship the year before, so I get it. But yeah, there's that's a lot to.
But that was the
digest.
one thing coming out of high school. It's like, well, you know, I grew up in Ohio. My family lives in Ohio. And then when you're that age, you think everybody's going to live here. It's like, why would I go to Michigan and come back and live in Ohio? It doesn't. I mean, there's something to that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They may have recruited you hard. Jim Herman basically told me, he's like, "Yeah, we don't have a scholarship for you."
Oh,
here."
get
It's
out,
like-
really?
And that's why I was yelling at him during the game in 04. He goes, "What are you doing?" It's like, F that dude.
Yeah.
They went to offer someone else in our state over me. I'm like, you can have him.
There.
Kick your ass.
How'd that work out for everybody?
Worked out.
It worked out great for Ohio State.
Yeah, me and Ohio State probably
Yeah.
too. So
Hell yeah.
it was good.
Good. Well, this was good. I had a great time being back in Roosters in the Horseshoe Lounge with these guys, and thanks to Nicole Cox for having us. Hope you enjoyed this show and that you have a great week, or come in later after you watch the show and get some mini corn dogs on Appetizer Threes Day. They are $3. That's Jay-Z, Bob, Birm. I'm Austin. We'll be back here on Monday, July 3rd to celebrate America. See you there.